Welcome to Same Spit, Different Face TV. Well, my opinions is facts, and if you don't like my opinions, you can start your own podcast. And it's free. So don't forget to spit on the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification. If you clicked on this video to hear about ASAP Lou lying on a stand allegedly, I need you to hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button. Now, Spit Squad. ASAP Lou was put on a stand and he was questioned by the prosecutor. Now, when we look at ASAP Lou on the stand, ASAP Lou was basically coming there to corroborate that it was a prop gun, and he was also coming to corroborate that the Glock magazine or clip, whichever you prefer to call it, it was found inside of ASAP Rocky house. He is basically saying that was his. Now, the two things that turns out to appear to be a lie, and the prosecutor believes it's a lie, and it actually sounds like a lie. Now, that's not me saying he's lying. I'm saying it sounds like a lie. You know, it's kind of like that phrase, walk like a duck, sound like a duck, quack like a duck, must be a duck. But so when it turns to the situation, they basically asked him, yo, what was up with the prop gun? And then he said, oh, I gave the prop gun back to the director. And the prosecutor basically asked him, asked ASAP Lou, so since you've giving that prop gun back to the director, and all of these things have been going on, and we know that, you know, it's a bunch of different things that's happening right now, you don't think that it would be relevant for you to go to that director and say, hey, I need to get that prop gun back so I can prove that it was a prop and prove that it isn't a real gun that he shot? That's one thing that he got caught up in with a lie. And then the second thing, he said, yo, that clip is only over there because I bought my guns over there because we were supposed to go shooting to the shooting range, but I ended up getting drunk. And in the midst of me ended up getting drunk, we decided, yo, we not going to go to the shooting range. Now, that sounds like a great story, but the problem was that is that his gun that he had is supposed to hold, I think, a 380, and that was a 9. So the thing that was the problem with it is that the shells that he put in there wouldn't have fit. So they asked him, yo, why would you put a full magazine of shells that didn't fit into a gun that didn't fit? And basically he's trying to say, well, that's the gun, that clip that was over there, and it's mine, and I put my wrong shell casings in there. So it all just sounds super crazy if you ask me. Then he asked ASAP Relly about the situation, and ASAP Relly said, oh, he didn't have any weapons on him except for his hands. He said his hands is not a weapon. I asked you, did he have any weapons on him? And he said, you would consider his hands a weapon? And ASAP Twevy said, yeah, he hit me, punched me, whichever he said. And then the prosecutor was like, okay, so he hit you, but nowhere in your original statement did you ever say that he hit you. You don't think that was important? So I think it's a lot of holes in the story. Also, when they talk about the gun, they pointed out on the video that it was two people who walked past the situation, and basically the prosecutor is trying to say that's the only reason they dispersed away from the situation, because two people walked past it. Two people who had nothing to do with the situation. Now, another thing that I didn't like Relly said, oh, when he went to shoot, he shot the first shot at the ground as a warning shot. And then the prosecutor said, why would you fire a warning shot at the ground if the gun is indeed fake? Now, I can go both ways with this. I can go with the process of, yo, why would you shoot a gun at the ground if you know it's fake? And maybe that's because you want to shoot it at the ground, let them hear the sound, and maybe it'll scare them off, even though you know it's fake. But then after you see that it's fake, why shoot at him the second time? Now, that's another thing. You could basically shoot at him and maybe he think, oh shit, he just shot at me for real, but he missed me, and maybe that'll make the person get away from you. But then the other way I could see it is, you know the gun is real, so you shoot off a warning shot to let him know that the gun is real, and then you point it at the ground because you don't want it to go into the air and mistakenly hit somebody. And then the second shot, you do take a shot at him, and it ends up hitting him on the knuckles like he said. But this is all just a theory. I'm not saying this is what happened. Those are my two different thought processes of how it could have played out in ASAP Rocky favor and not in ASAP Rocky favor. Now, I'll tell y'all this again, as I've said in almost probably every video I've done to cover this. All you hear is every celebrity saying, oh, we have to wait to see what happened. We don't know if he really shot him. Yeah, maybe he did, maybe he didn't. And it's funny to me that everybody can see the nuances in the case, and it is some holes in the case. ASAP Relly going back 2 days later, a day later, whatever it was, and finding two shell cases when the police already looked in the area, that sound fishy. Now, what they would say from the standpoint of the prosecutors, well, the reason the cops didn't find the shell cases because they didn't know where to look because it was in the general area. And ASAP Rocky definitely had a pistol in his hand, but he's saying it's a prop gun. So for all of y'all people who keep saying he never had a gun, that's a lie. He definitely had a gun, but he's saying it's a prop. ASAP Relly saying it's real and he shot at him. Now, another thing I want to point out, it does appear that ASAP Rocky has a carry permit, a concealed carry permit. So even if he did have a gun on him, like let's just say it's a prop gun, he can't be charged with a gun because he does have a concealed carry permit. Now, if the prosecutor want to be petty, it looked like he just had it sitting in the small of his back, not properly carried. They could probably charge him with something like that. But if he end up beating this case, I highly doubt that they come back to try to charge him with anything. But I definitely feel like ASAP Lou was lying. When I look at ASAP Relly, I feel like he not telling the whole truth either. I feel like the truth was good enough, but I feel like he put some sauce on it to make it more believable, and it end up kind of stumbling him in cross-examination. When I look at, what's his name, ASAP 12, kind of seemed to be the most honest person, but he also seems to be the person with the most to benefit from this. And also, one of the biggest things was then the judge asked the prosecutor was asking ASAP 12 a question, and ASAP Rocky told him, don't say. So that right there shows that the person that you coming on the stage for has control over you. And also, ASAP Rocky being the biggest person in the group, if his career stopped, your career stopped. If he needs you to come there for him, he's dating Rihanna, one of the biggest artists in the world, you're going to come there for him because you're thinking about your livelihood. And also another thing I hate that make it seem like they was lying, ASAP 12 and ASAP Lou both keep saying, oh, we never asked him about the shooting. We never asked him if he shot him, because they don't want to perjure themselves by saying, no, we asked him and he said he didn't shoot him. That in my personal, or he didn't shoot at him, in my personal opinion, because if I was to go on the stand and somebody asked me, yo, did your homie say that, did you and your homie talk about it? Yeah, we talked about it. Did he say he didn't shoot him? Yes, he told me he didn't shoot him. I can't speak for nobody else's conversation, but for me, he said no. Why? If that's the truth, that's what you should just come out and say. But it sounds weird to me that somebody you on the road with all the time, this thing has been going to TMZ, it's been happening for over 2 years, and this guy never spoke to you about it. Come on, man. It sounds stupid. That's the only word I can kind of figure it out. But we're going to see, man. The case should be coming to an end maybe within the next week. And probably by next week sometime, the jury we'll have closing statement and the jury can go to the verdict. If you want me to keep you up to date with this ASAP Rocky case, hip hop updates, or celebrity updates, hit the subscribe and the like button. Check out my original Chicago hood movie in the end screen, No Time to Play Fair. If you into sneakers, you a sneakerhead, you love seeing the new Jordans, Pumas, whatever it may be, subscribe to Kicking It with Fairplay 2333. If you trying to follow me on my basketball journey, my weightlifting and fitness journey, and also be inspired to get back on your fitness journey, subscribe to Fairplay, Flex, and Fadeaway. Also, any of these pages I just named, you can also find them on TikTok or Instagram.